Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have the fourth part of the Queen's Gambit accepted. And today we have the knight f3 variation. So after this video we will have the final variation, which will be the e4 variation. So today's the fourth part, and this is the knight to f3 variation, and currently in the previous video we have done trap. I do recommend you to check that out because that's quite interesting. And they're very important tips to remember when you're playing the e3 move. So the e3 move was the first part of the Queen's Gambit accepted. And there's some traps in that to show you how to play the right move and do not play the wrong move, that is a6 and c6. So, today we open with d4 and d5. Now the Queen's Gambit is c4. Now the accepted variation is d takes on c4, and now we have the knight to f3 variation. Now, from here we have knight to f6, developing the knight, controlling some of the light squares. e3, so preparing to recapture on c4 maybe. And we have e6. Bishop takes on c4. c5, striking in the centre. And the kingside castles from white. C captures on d4. E takes on d4. And we have bishop to d6, so bringing out the bishop, the dark square bishop, which has a nice diagonal to work on, along with preparing a castling on the king side for black. Now we have knight to c3, and we have castles from black. We have bishop to g5, strengthening the position of the bishop and pinning down this knight against the queen. Now we have knight b to d7, and we have rook to e1. So bringing the rook into the centre of the board, attacking down this very weak e-file, the rook has sort of got it to itself because there's only this pawn from black that's controlling these light squares, but this rook can dominate the e-file by moving to e1. Now we have h6, asking the bishop, capture the knight, retreat along your diagonal, or go to h4. And the bishop goes to h4. Now we have knight to b6, and we have bishop to b3. Sorry, bishop to d3. So the bishop moves back away from the knight, maybe developing on this side of the board, maybe joining up with the queen. The queen could come down to c2, but this knight is too strong. This knight has to be captured before anything else is being played along these diagonals. Now we have bishop to e7, so strengthening the knight. Now the queen isn't under any more pin. And we have bishop to g3. So this bishop knows it's not doing any more good. So there's no more pressure added to this knight. So it decides to move back to g3. Now we have bishop to d7, so bringing this light square bishop out, and there could be some ideas of getting the queen out to a square, then coming in forward and attacking down this c-file. This bishop's maintaining a very strong dark square diagonal, that's why it's forcing the queen not to come to c7, because this dark square bishop is controlling so much along this dark square diagonal. Okay, we have knight to e5, and we have rook to c8, so adding some pressure down the c-file. And we have rook to c1. Now from here you could have a move such as knight f to d5, a6, bishop to e8, bishop to c6, and these are a load of options to play as black, and this is a very strong opening from white and black, so very developed from both, and this is a very strong opening, so very aggressive, and the pieces are very nicely developed. So this was the f3 variation, so this is the Queen's Gambit accepted classical Steinitz variation, so an exchange variation of that, and this is the f3 variation with the knight, and we're going to be covering e4 in the next video. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video on part 4 of the Queen's Gambit accepted. Please remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.